The power of obsession when it's directed at purpose. They'll tell you obsession is dangerous, that it consumes, that it breaks a person down. But they forget so does mediocrity. So does drifting. So does a life lived without fire. Asterisk obsession is not the enemy. Obsession is the rarest form of focus. It's the storm that clears everything else away, until only the truth of your purpose remains, until you see nothing but the one thing you came here to do. Asterisk, you don't need balance. You don't need to calm down. You need ignition. You need fire in your blood. You need to be possessed by the mission you are put here to complete. Because the people who change the world don't just want it, they ache for it. They burn for it. They're not interested in hobbies or half measures. They're driven by something deeper than comfort, something sacred. Asterisk, Walt Disney was obsessed. They laughed at him when he said he would build a place where imagination lived. Park based on cartoons? Who would fund such a ridiculous dream? But he couldn't let it go. It haunted him. He sketched it. He mapped it. He saw it long before the world ever could. That's what obsession does. It drags your vision out of the impossible and demands that you build it brick by brick. Asterisk, Henry Ford was obsessed. Obsessed with putting a car in every driveway. When others said it couldn't be done, he redesigned the assembly line. He failed more than most people even try. But he never stopped refining, never stopped believing. And when asked why he was so relentless, he said, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." That's what obsession does. It blinds you to excuses and fixes your eyes on the summit. Asterisk, Lincoln was obsessed with unity. Carnegie was obsessed with steel. Napoleon Hill was obsessed with unlocking the mind. Every great transformation, every radical leap in human progress began as an obsession in someone's heart. Asterisk, but you've been taught to tame your fire, to play it safe, to keep your dreams realistic, to stay in line, smile politely, and not want too much. They tell you obsession will drive you mad, but what they really mean is, it will drive you away from them, away from their comfort, away from their limitations. Because obsessed people make the average feel exposed. They are walking proof that greatness is a decision. Asterisk, and obsession, true obsession, only becomes destructive when it's misdirected, when it's fueled by ego, by revenge, by insecurity. But when it's married to purpose, it becomes a force of nature. Asterisk, this is not about being busy. This is not about doing more. This is about being called. You are not here to dabble. You are here to build, to become, to embody a vision that won't let you sleep. A vision that lives in your gut and screams in your chest and reminds you every second that time is running out. Asterisk, purpose is the compass. Obsession is the engine. And belief is the fuel. Belief is where the war begins. Because if you don't believe, you won't begin. And if you do begin without belief, you won't last. You'll quit at the first failure. You'll break at the first no. You'll fold when the world pushes back. But when belief is fused with obsession, there is nothing more dangerous, more unstoppable, more divine. Asterisk, look at Thomas Edison. He didn't just hope for the light bulb. He believed in it with everything he had. 10,000 failed experiments. 10,000 attempts to tame electricity. But he was obsessed with lighting the world, and so he did. Because to him, every failure was data. Every setback was a step. Every defeat was just a detour. Asterisk, that's what happens when belief and obsession meet purpose. They turn pain into fuel. They transform rejection into redirection. They teach you that no is not the end. It's the universe asking, how bad do you want it? Asterisk, how bad do you want it? Asterisk, because if you want it just a little, the first setback will break you. Asterisk, if you want it only when it's easy, you'll never see the top. Asterisk, if you want it sometimes, you'll have nothing. Asterisk, but if you want it like breath, like blood, like survival, then you have already stepped into a power most never taste. The power of pure, unapologetic obsession. Asterisk, not to impress, not to prove, but to become. The becoming is the reward, and that begins with clarity. Asterisk, clarity is the lens that sharpens the obsession. Without it, you wander, you scatter your energy, you chase 1,000 things and catch nothing. But with it, your life becomes a spear-direct, penetrating, unstoppable. Asterisk, clarity answers the question, why are you here? Asterisk, not what you are told to do, not what pays the bills, not what's expected, but what calls you, what burns inside you when the lights are off, what makes you restless, what refuses to die no matter how many times you ignore it. Asterisk, a thing that fire is your purpose, and obsession is the hand that shapes it into reality. Asterisk, let others laugh. Let others misunderstand. You weren't built for normal. You weren't built for the crowd. You were built for the climb, for the edge, for the impossible. Asterisk, and when your clarity sharpens, your world will shrink. Not because you're less, but because you are focused. You will lose distractions. You will lose people. You will lose comfort. But what you gain is vision. Asterisk, not everyone will see it. That's fine. It's yours. Not everyone will understand. That's okay. It was never for them. Obsession isn't democratic. It doesn't ask for votes. It doesn't wait for permission. It takes. It builds. It creates. And in the hands of purpose, it redeems every second you thought you lost.